Good morning, welcome to PB&J Craft. This is Gabriel, and we're starting off here in the program Amidst. The link is in the description for how to get here. And um, the way this works is you open up the um, your map file you have in filer folder, um, and it gives you the seed, and according to that seed calculates what should be in the map. So we're here in the ice plain biome, and you see up in the corner here, um, it's telling us our x and z coordinates, not the y coordinate, but the x and z coordinate, because a y coordinate will be universal for regions. And this is, I guess it's saved where my wife's character is. So you see her little face here. And it tells you where we would have been able to find witch huts and the fortress and villages. So we'll add the nether fortress layer. And we have two nether fortresses. One here looks like it's centered at 96, negative 168. And we've got one centered here at 144.76. Now, the one thing I haven't experimented with yet is figuring out whether these coordinates are the coordinates for the overworld location or the netherworld location. So do I need to divide by 8 to get to these coordinates in the netherworld or not? So I will look that up. This may be a bust, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of Minecraft. If I'm not able to look it up, then I'm just going to try and do it. And we'll see how it goes. So we'll switch over, and I'll see you during my voiceover as I build in the nether. So we're back here in game, and we're watching at 8 times speed just to make things a little quicker, given that this is going to be primarily a building round. Fortunately, it took me a couple seconds, or rather unfortunately, it took me a couple seconds to get everything set here, get some tools, but now we're heading down into the nether. First order of business is to start the, first order of business is to cover everything over with half slabs in order to prevent any mobs from spawning where we don't want them to. Mobs can only spawn on whole blocks. And so any half block or translucent block is not going to accept mob spawns. So by covering everything over with half slabs, we have guaranteed safety. Now you'll notice I'm putting torches up everywhere. It is not necessary to put torches up in the nether for mob spawning prevention purposes, since normal mobs, vanilla mobs, will not spawn in the nether. I just like having a little bit of light. It gets gloomy being in the dark all the time. So what I'm doing here is building out a little platform. Doesn't really matter what size. I think I made it 10 by 10. That was a relatively arbitrary number, not super significant. Again, you see I'm putting the half slabs on top, covering that over, and then giving myself a little entrance way, just to protect myself from ghast fireballs, etc. Because ghasts will spawn. And then you see it already, boom, that fast. I'm just putzing around over the main area, and that many pigmen have spawned already. So now we're going to cut forward, because it took me forever to bridge out. You can see how long this bridge is. To bridge out, that was at 8 times speed, so we went quite a distance. 100 blocks out, well, 40 blocks and then 100 blocks, I think it was. So I just cut that since it was just really slow bridging. It was going to be long even at 8 times speed. So the game kept skipping. It was actually pretty scary. At one point, I thought it was going to kick me out. Now, eventually, I'm going to build this out in both directions. But first, I'm just going to build it on one side. Eventually, it'll be symmetrical on my path there. So I had to think it out. So it was a little bit slow at points. But the idea is to create pathways. I'll change the camera angle in a second. You can see. The idea is that I'm going to create these pathways in between taller columns so that I can walk between the columns, which have a half slab floor, and mobs will spawn on top of the columns, and I'll be protected from mob spawning or from their blasts by the ceiling part. So it's kind of a dual layer thing. We'll get a view on the inside in a little bit, and that way you'll be able to see what's going on. For some reason, my computer kept glitching out, and you see I keep getting kicked out of the game and coming back in, and that's how those mobs are spawning. But what's nice to know, there's that zombie pigman there, so that's nothing special. I'm going to push him off the edge. Bye-bye. But you'll see in a second that there's also a wither skeleton right there. There he is. Killed him. But that is incidental proof that this has worked, because I did get a mob spawn that should only spawn in another fortress. So it's going to work. I aggroed a zombie pigman and am now taking them down one at a time. Once they're all dead, go clean up everything. I got 2 golden swords and some nuggets. Just going to grab some more blocks. Although, as will turn out, I'm actually gonna finish building the rest of it off screen, because we've already proved it. Now, this was weird. I glitched out and the computer had no idea where I was, so I'm floating down there. Here I am. We'll run back over there, and ta-da! The proof of the pudding. There it is. There's my blaze, and there's another blaze now trying to shoot me. I'm on fire, but luckily got away. I didn't even have a bow and arrow. But there, I've got a blaze rod, and that was the point of all of this, just to get a blaze rod in order to build a brewing stand. So there it is. There's my brewing stand. Killed a few monsters, put everything away. So quite successful. I'm going to finish building that. Here's all the supplies. Just showing you what kind of got updated by the end of this round. Accidentally, when I was recording on creative, right when I started recording at the beginning of this, I broke one of the chests by accident. So I think I lost a couple snowballs, but oh well. I didn't add any back in. I just left it as it was. So if there's less snow, that's why. But I feel pretty pleased with this. I'm excited about the brewing stand. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and make it a great day.